What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Haze Demon Show. And today we're going to be going over the new tier list for Mystical theme for South Park Phone Destroyer. What you're seeing above me is the old 2019 tier list. We're going to switch over to it here in just a moment just to give you guys some idea of where this is coming from. I have played in the top 500 of this game for the last 2 years. So most of my idea of what are good cards and what are bad cards are based on how well the cards play in the late game, meaning at level 4 legendary, level 5 epics, level 6 rares, and level 7 commons. That's what I'm looking at these cards, and I'm making my opinion based on that, and also from all the games that I've played, like over 10,000 games and whatnot. And also, the cards are being based on how well they can do by themselves without Pope Temmie, without Mr. Hanky, without anything. Like how well the card consistently can do, and in how many counters and things that are like that are against it. So that's pretty much how I'm gauging them. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Bada boom, baby. And that's going to be the brand new tier list for 2020. We have Master Ninja and Energy Staff in the S class. Master Ninja was in the A tier last time. Energy Staff was in the B tier. These cards are just so powerful that I realized they needed to be in the S tier. Also, also Cartman used to be in the S tier, and I put him down in the A tier. Right, so Mr. Ninja just boosts up all the units, and it's still ridiculous. Even if he got nerfed, he still gives such a big boost. It makes it extremely difficult to fight against. And Energy Staff is just so powerful in the last minute of the game, the last couple minutes of the game, I should say, if you're going into overtime. The energy that you can get, especially with Hermes Kenny, is just so good. And also the fact that if you put that card out on the field at the beginning of the match, even if you may lose a small amount of energy, you're bringing the fight to your side of the field. So Energy Staff is just OP by just standing there and doing absolutely nothing. It's more powerful than Zen Cartman, because Zen Cartman is a moving card, right? So in the A tier, we have Medusa Bebe, Pope Temmie, and Witch Doctor Token, Zen Cartman, Unholy Combustion, and Powerbind. Medusa Bebe was in the A tier. I bumped her down. I pretty much switched her places with Master Ninja. The main reason why is because she just doesn't have that bang. I mean, like, there's nothing really changed since the last time I did the tier list between the two of them, but I just feel like Medusa Bebe, with her slower attack and not a global ability, I guess you could say, just kind of puts her back down one more tier. But it's pretty much just switching him. Pope Temmie doesn't switch at all. He's been there, same exact spot. He does the exact same thing. Hasn't been nerfed. He had like a stealth nerf for like a month maybe, but it was reverted. So he's pretty much exactly the same 6-cost unit, OP Gangnam style. Then we've got Witch Doctor Token, level 4, legendary, beast mode. Heals himself. He's got some counters, but generally, even if he doesn't get to use his ability, he's a pretty strong 4-cost fighter. Then we got Zen Cartman, who is a super uber tank. Even if he's got nerfed 10% health, he is still extremely viable because of his low cost and high amount of health and taunt ability. It's just too good to not have in your deck if you're playing Mystical. And then we have Unholy Combustion, which can do chip damage to the new kid, blow up any unit, and blah 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 blah. That's a really good card. Powerbind. Some people were telling me that Powerbind last time should have been lower than Purify. Why? Because Purify can purify Powerbind. I don't agree with that. You're not gonna run both of them in your deck most of the time. The only time you're going to run Purify is if you're running Dougie or you're running Stand Mini Moons. Other than that, most people just don't care to run Purify. Powerbind is universally much more powerful. You can hit multiple units with it. You can hit Stand Mini Moons, Witch Doctor Token, Shield Maiden Wendy, whoever. They're not going to be able to use their ability. It's not a bad card whatsoever. If it just did damage, I'd probably just put it in the S tier, but I've added in plus the negate, power negate. Now, some cards can live long enough that doesn't matter. Those are the cards you don't want to power bind, right? Alright, so we're on B tier here. We have Imp Twig, Priest Maxi, Hermes Kenny, Hallelujah, and Purify. None of these cards change. All of them are the same. Imp Tweak He's a very niche card. He does very good at removing cards from the back row and putting them in your side of the field. So you can kill him quickly. He's underrated. I think he's a very good card. A very, very tricky card, but he can definitely make some magic happen, that's for sure. Priest Maxi, he's a 6-cost Uber tank. Basically put 2 Zen Cartmans together, you've got Priest Maxi, except if you put 2 Zen Cartmans, you still have more health. Anyway, the real reason why he's so good at B tier, besides the fact that he has a shit ton of health and he heals people around him, he is a removal card bait, meaning that if he's 6 cost and somebody uses the 5 cost Unholy Combustion, then you can play your other units and know that they're not going to get blown up, like Man Bear Pig or Stand of Many Moons. Then we've got Hermes Kinney, who is a fast attacking, high health, high attack assassin. Since he's an epic card, he also combos extremely well with Energy Staff, and it's just very powerful in general. You can literally just waste Hermes Kinney while Energy Staff is up, and it doesn't make a difference. Hallelujah did get a nerf at some point in time since the last time I did the tier list video, I think, where it couldn't raise the max health of units and just heal them, and I think it may be a little less healing, but it's still really good. Not as many people are running Hallelujah as they used to, but it's still a very powerful card. There is no doubt about it. And then we've got Purify, and it gets rid of Poison, Mind Control. Right now, Purify's best thing to do is for Alien Queen Red and Mind Control on any cards, really. But really, Purify is only good if you're, like I said, you're running Dougies because they're going to get mind controlled, or Stand of Many Moon because they're going to get mind controlled, or whatever. So it's kind of a backup card for other cards. It's still good. You can use it whenever, whatever, for poisons all over the place, and it's not bad for that either. Because any card that Purify counters is an energy advantage because it costs so much lower than the opposite card it's countering or whatever. Anyway, we've got C+ category with the Youth Pastor Craig, Sexy Nun Randy, Choir Boy Butters, and Regeneration. None of these cards have changed. They're all exactly in the same tier. We've got Youth Pastor Craig. His ability, his stats, his health, and his attack are not that good, but his ability is what makes him very powerful. If his stats and stuff were higher, he'd be even higher up on the list. But basically, he's a setup for mostly Stand of Many Moons, and other really big tanks. But the only problem is, with a really big tank on the field, I don't know if it's really worth it to use Youth Pastor Craig or not. Because they can live long enough, or I don't know. But either way, Youth Pastor Craig's 30 seconds to where they can't use their abilities is just so good, it's ridiculous. If you can use that 30 seconds efficiently, then he becomes very powerful, right? Now, again, I mean, that's still depending on the other cards, but it's nonetheless, it's stopping your opponent from using spells. Very good. Sexy Nun Randy didn't move at all, like I said. He's a 5-cost card. He attacks pretty good. He's got okay health. He needs more health to be a better fighter. He spawns assassins that are like Choir Boy. He doesn't attack as fast as Pocahontas Randy. He doesn't attack as slow as 6-element Randy. He doesn't attack as strong as 6-element Randy. So some people would say that he is the worst Randy, and they're probably right. But I still think that he's a very good card. C+ category, no doubt about it. You can make it work. His assassins also are very sneaky. Choir Boy Butters, the 2-cost assassin, gives you a little bit of energy back. High attack, high health for a assassin. The only reason why he's in C+ tier is because Hermes is in the B tier. Kind of try to separate these things here, you know what I'm saying? And then we've got Regeneration, which is really good, but it's just not as good as Hallelujah in my opinion. And some people do run Generation, some people don't. Some people run Hallelujah, some people don't. Regeneration is just one of those cards where some people like it and some people don't. I think it's still a really good card. Maybe I could have probably put it one tier lower this time, but I feel like, I mean, nothing's changed with the card, so you can still do really good with it. Now we've got the C- category, which is Hercules Clyde and Prophet Dougie. Hercules Clyde is a card that has the ability to stop abilities, like the Power Bind, basically by running and dashing at him. The problem with Hercules Clyde is there's so many things that screw up his dash ability that make him unreliable. Then also, he doesn't have the greatest stats, but he is a 3-cost fighter, so it depends on how you look at that. If you're looking at superheroes, yeah, then he's a really bad 3-cost card, but because superheroes have such high stats for their rank and energy costs and whatever. So he probably, Hercules Clyde probably needs to be put down to 2 energy, but then they're like, well, Power Bind's 2 energy, so we can't do that. So they need to just buff Hercules Clyde. He just needs more attack and health, probably. And then Prophet Dougie. Prophet Dougie was 1 tier up higher in the C+ category. I bumped him down because he is the worst Dougie, and he got nerfed. You can still make him work in one way or another, especially if you're running 2 Dougies or whatever. But I think that he's just meh. I don't really like Dougies anyway. And then we've got the D category here. Cupid Cartman. He is a flying attacking unit. They need to raise his attack considerably to make him like a flying assassin unit, and then he would be a lot better. But right now his stats suck, and it's just not a very good card. Only card in the D category. We've got the E category, which is Angel Wendy and Friar Jimmy. None of these have changed here. The only reason why they're not in the F category is because they are just... I don't know. They could probably be in the F category, both of them. They're not very good at all. One with the healing and one with the other healing, and they're just meh. They don't heal enough. Maybe if they healed more, it would make up for their stats not being that good. Then I could bump them up higher, but I don't know. And we've got the F category, which is Poseidon Stan, Scout Ike, and Jesus. Alright, so Scout Ike was in the E category the last time we did this, but I've decided that he's worse. He's much worse. So we've got F category with Poseidon Stan. He slows down everybody on the field, but his stats are terrible. Although the slow is really good, can be good, his stats suck, so it's pretty much just a waste of having him on the field. Scout Ike, he's got decent stats for a common assassin, but he's a 3-cost card. So that's pretty bad for an assassin normally, unless they have a way to make it up, which he does have a way to make it up, but that 1 energy you get back from it makes him a 2-cost card, basically. He's terrible, because he has a really slow attack, meaning that every assassin can trade and defeat him easily. So he's just a god-awful card. But the worst card here, that should be in the Sub-Zero category, is Jesus. He comes out brand new, last December, and he is El Terrible. Maybe he should be in the E category, but in my opinion, he is absolutely trash. He has okay attack, he has shit health, and he has a shit ability of healing people around him, dying, coming back to life, and healing people around him. Guess what? When he comes back to life, he's usually by himself, and guess what? He's just gonna die instantly. So his revival is pointless, and even if you had units on there, they're not gonna get healed enough for it to even matter at all. So Jesus is an absolute terrible card. He needs a huge buff, and maybe he would go into the D or C- category, depending on how big the buff is, of course, obviously, right? But I just think he's a terrible card. Absolutely terrible. So, not a whole lot really changed with Mystical tier list. Just a few things here, and mostly just my opinion on a card changed, you know, and that's about it, really. Not a whole lot there. This is actually a lot shorter than the adventure one. I kind of tried to push it a little quicker too, but anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, make sure to hit that like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think about the cards, where they belong in your opinion. Also, if you want a more in-depth description of these cards, you might want to check out my 2019 tier list videos, because I went into extreme detail about every single one of the cards, and I'm trying to make these videos a little bit shorter for 2020. I think that's about it. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to bring a towel. I'll see you guys next week for another tier list video, which is going to be probably fantasy, because they're coming out with a new sci-fi card, so sci-fi is probably going to be the last tier list video that we do, just so I can get enough time to see the card and know what it is, but that's like a couple weeks from now, so sci-fi's tier list video may be a little bit later. But so fantasy next week, followed by superheroes, which will be the first time that I do a tier list for superheroes, and then sci-fi. We'll see how that goes. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to bring a towel. Peace out.
Young people from all over the globe are joining up to fight for the future.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
They're doing their part. Are you? Join the Tell Nation and save the world. Service guarantees citizenship.